So we finally had our day before event. And while we learned a lot, there are still a lot of questions that we don't know. But what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down the trailer and show you things that I noticed that you might have missed that we learned about the day before. Now, it doesn't answer all the questions that we do want to know about this game, but it does answer a few of them. So in this video, we'll be covering everything we learned from the day before mega event. And before we get into the video, if you guys enjoy this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Definitely helps out the video. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe so you can catch more videos from NothingButSkillz. All right, guys, let's dive into it. So we actually got to see a couple areas from previous trailers. If you look at the very beginning, the first couple scenes that they show, we've actually seen all of these scenes in previous videos. And what do you mean by that? Well, let me show you. So do you remember this tall building right here? Well, you should. If you guys remember the very first trailer that they ever launched for the day before, there's a scene where we're running from zombies and we enter a building, and then once we get around the corner, we go into an elevator. So you probably guessed it. Yes, this is that building. And what about the video that we had our first shootout? Well, this is it right here. I know you guys remember that video. That was probably one of our coolest videos where we're in a residential area. We have a big shootout. You can even see the Red X, aka FedEx truck to the left. It was a kind of a cool trailer. But yeah, that's that right there. And I 100% know you guys all remember this scene. This was probably one of the coolest ones that left us guessing. And you actually see the barn right there, right? We have the barn. And it was the same exact barn that we saw with the police car. Remember, the police ends up coming to this building because we set off the alarm. So just little hints that they threw at us throughout this whole trailer. Now, we did finally get to see part of the colony, which they have talked about in the past. We got to see a gym area. We got to see like a jacuzzi relaxing area, which I don't know why you would need that in this type of game, but who knows? It kind of seems like The Sims to me at that point. So will this have like a Sims community factor to it? I'm not sure. Who would actually take advantage of that? Who knows? Now, we did get to see our character for the first time, and you can see him walking up, and it looks like he's about to have a drink with these fellas right here. So I don't know if maybe there's drinking games, something like we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. Who knows? There might be those types of games that you could do at the colony. Then after that, we got to see a really cool clip of our teammates taking out some zombies, but if you look at our backpack, looks like we got a hatchet on it. I mean, we got some melee kills that we can do. Definitely love to see what we could do with that. We continue down the streets of New York City, it looks like. Abandoned cars all on the street. And then we finally got to see a dev that has some aim. You guys ask, what do you mean a dev that has some aim? Do you guys remember this? Just look at this aiming. Look at this. Oh, watch this, watch this, watch this. Holy, what was he shooting at? Let's rewind that real quick. Man, that dude was hitting all air hoping he was gonna get a headshot. So I'm glad that they finally got someone who could showcase getting some headshots and not missing shots shooting the air. So it was actually kind of cool. We got to see the mall. Holy, this thing was actually really impressive to look at. This thing just looks massive. And I think a lot of really crazy gun battles can happen in this area. And the amount of name brand stores that they put in this mall is kind of impressive. Now, I don't know if they did enough so they don't have to pay those royalties, but they did change the names just enough so, they could probably get away with it. But I'm no dev and I'm no lawyer, so I can't really go with that. But I will tell you that they definitely have a few stores you guys might notice. Hey, most of you guys use an Apple phone, right? Well, they definitely added an Apple store. And it's kind of cool to see things you might notice. Now, will this make it to the end game? Who knows? But yeah, you can see the Apple store right here, and he even loots the phone. So do you use phones to communicate with other players? Could this be like a GTA where you get messages and stuff like that? One thing that did throw me off though, even though they were looting this mall, did you notice how big this mall was and it was all lit up? Where are they getting the electricity to light this mall up? That's what I want to know. Now, something that we did finally learn about this game is there seems to be a safe house that you can slowly grow. If you look at this safe house right here, it was constantly evolving. So it seems that you'll have a cabin or a house or whatever you guys want to call it, and as you guys get more materials, it looks like you can actually keep growing it. And I thought that was actually pretty cool. Now, once inside, they did show us the first time ever a crafting bench where we were able to repair, add optics, add a muzzle, and add a stock on this weapon itself. So it'd be pretty cool to see what you could fully add on all the weapons. So there is a crafting bench in the day before. Then we got our first look at a new vehicle. We got to see a Hummer, not just one, but 2 Hummers. So where did they get these military vehicles? How do they have fuel for these vehicles? Where can we get fuel for them? It's gonna be kind of cool to see. And we got to see more of the open world terrain from the day before. And I wanna know more about this open world game that they are creating. Now we continue on, and guess what? We finally found out that this game was on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. But the release date for PC is definitely coming first. As you guys can read right here, it says the day before PC release date. They teased us, they played around. I actually got scared when I first saw this. I was like, there's no way. It actually showed 2025, and then of course, shortly after, they knocked it down, and you saw it comes out June 21st, 2022. And then of course, shortly after this, they did update it on the Steam website. So if you go over to Steam, where it's going to release first for PC, it says planned release date June 21, 2022. So I gotta say, it was pretty successful mega event, at least for me. We finally found out an official release date. It's still over 8 months away, but we got a release date. We found out that this was coming on console, so it's gonna be on next-gen consoles, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and then of course PC. It's gonna have that PC release first. We saw that it seems that you have a safe house that has crafting benches inside of it that you can use to craft mods for your weapons and even repair them. And then we saw more vehicles. Now we did get to see more of New York City, and we got to see the colony for the first time. So we definitely learned a lot about the day before, but are there questions that we still have? 100%. What about the server size? How many people can be in the colony at once? How many people are in a server when you go into the open world? Is PvP and PvE all in one server, or are there different areas for different types of games? And what about this bunker that we saw at the very end over here? Whatever happened to this? Whatever happened to the bunker that we saw at the end of this trailer right here? That's what I really want to know. I want to know what's going on with this bunker. Are there bunkers all over the open world besides just the colony? And what can you do in these bunkers? Are they safe havens? So there's definitely a lot of unanswered questions, and I hope over the next 8 months up into release, we get to learn a little bit more. And I just really hope that the developers realize that there's a big interest in this game, that in the future, they hire a PR person, somebody to really give us this information. And I always thought it was kind of humorous how they handled passing information to us, and they just seem like people who like to have a good time and crack jokes, but definitely to release certain information, to make sure it's broadcasted to your fan base. Get somebody who's a good PR person who can answer those questions, have more Q&As, let people know more about the game as you guys get closer and closer to launch. But that's about it, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I can't wait for the next video whenever they do release more gameplay trailer, whenever they release another Q&A. I will bring that to this channel. But for now, I'm not sure we're gonna have any more content for a little bit, because the last time we got a video, it took a few months. So might be another few months, or at least a month or so before we get some more substantial information to really share with you guys. But until then, you guys know where to find me, right here on the channel, bringing you guys more gaming news, more gameplay, and just excitement overall. I appreciate the support, appreciate the love. I'll see you in the next one. But until then, nothing but skills is out.